Hello, thank you for watching this video. So on this video, we're doing question 4 of November 2024 question paper mathematics paper 1. And the topic is functions or exponential functions, I think. So, question 4 reads as follows. They are saying you are given that f of x is defined by a raised x minus 1 for a is greater than 0. B is a point on the function f. Let me read this thing again. They are saying you are given that f of x is equal to a raised x minus 1 for a is greater than 0, and b, which have coordinates 2 and minus 5 over 9, is a point on f. So you are given that a function f of x to be defined by a raised x minus 1, where a is greater than 0. What kind of function is this one? That is an exponential function, right? There is your exponential variable. So this is an exponential function. And you're told that a is greater than 0. What does it mean? If your a is greater than 0, which means your function is above your horizontal asymptote of your exponential function. Because you know that an exponential function has a horizontal asymptote. So if they are saying that a is greater than 0, that means your function itself will be above the horizontal asymptote. No problem. And that horizontal asymptote is minus 1. Of course, there it is. Because that's where this minus 1 is sitting where q is normally sitting. They are saying b is a point on f, so b is just a point on f, with this coordinates being 2 and the y coordinate being minus 5 over 9. So at 4.1, they want you to find the value of a. So at 4.1, they want us to find the value of a. We're given f of x is equal to a raised x minus 1. What is f of x? Your f of x is y, and this is x. So this point that you have the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So you can substitute this y coordinate here and the x coordinate over there. And you'll be left with one unknown, which is what? Which is a. Let's do that. So say minus 5 over 9, which is, this is where y is sitting, because that is your y value there. Minus 5 over 9 is called a raised x, which is 2 minus 1. Then if you want to find the value of a, let's take this to the other side. So you will have 1 minus 5 over 9 is equal to a raised 2. Pass this in your calculator and see what you get. So you say, okay, 1 minus 5 over 9. You get that this is equal to 4 over 9 is equal to a raised 2. Take the square root of this, take the square root of that. No plus or minus, because we're told that a is what? Is positive. So there's no need for us to say plus or minus, because we're positive that a is positive. So you get that your a is equal to what? It's equal to 2 over 3. This is your a. Therefore, your f of x now is equal to 2 over 3 raised x minus 1. So you can see that your a is of course greater than 0, but is less than 1. Which means, what does it mean about this function? This function of yours is decreasing. This function of yours is decreasing, provided that this will be positive, of course. So this function of yours is decreasing. No problem. Then, what are they saying at 4.2? They want us to write down the range of f. What is the range? So I always define the range simply as the set of y values, or the y values that the function uses, right? Because the a is positive, I said this function is above the asymptote. So it will use above the horizontal asymptote. So the y values that you will use are the y values that are above that y asymptote, that horizontal asymptote. So where is the horizontal asymptote? This is 4.2. Your asymptote is sitting at y is equal to minus 1. Are you with me? So your function will be above this, because your asymptote is sitting up at y is equal to minus 1. So if you want your asymptote, it should be y, your y value should be greater than minus 1. Or say your y is equal to, is an element of minus 1 to positive infinity, with minus 1 being excluded, of course, because we have a round bracket. And a block bracket or a square bracket implies that minus 1 would be included. But we're not including minus 1, because that's where asymptote is. So this function is defined above the horizontal asymptote, because our a is positive. And I said it's decreasing because you can see what is happening here. Because there's there's a positive number in front of a, and there's a positive 1 in front of a, we know that this function is decreasing. No problem. Now, at 4.3, they're saying sketch the graph of f and clearly show the intercepts with the exits and the asymptotes if there are any. So they want us to plot this thing and show any asymptotes if there are any. Okay, this is 4.3. We already say that there's a horizontal asymptote at y is equal to -1, right? Let's go and find the x-intercept or the y-intercept. For y-intercept, x is equal to 0, right? So we have f of x is equal to 2 over 3 raised x minus 1. So let's substitute our 0 there. We get that f of 0 is equal to 2 over 3 all raised 0 minus 1. So this is equal to 0. So the x-intercept is at 0, and the x and y-intercept are at the origin. They are there at the origin, 0 and 0. So if we plot this thing, it should look something along the lines of, okay, this is x equal to 0, and this is y is equal to 0. So we know that we have a horizontal asymptote here at y is equal to -1. This is y is equal to -1. And we know this thing is decreasing. So it should be something along the lines of this. And this is the origin here, 0 and 0. This is how I would draw mine. And of course, this is my f. So I think I'm done with 4.3. And then I'll move to 4.4 now. What are they saying at 4.4? At 4.4, they are saying now, it is further given that C is a point on F at y is equal to 19 over 8. They are saying determine the coordinates of the image of C when C is reflected about the line y is equal to x. So we're given that there's a point C, right, with a y value of 19 over 8. So the coordinates of C for now is x and 19 over 8. We only know the y value, right? So they say this C of yours is reflected about what? About y is equal to x. We know this transformation. If we reflect about the line y is equal to x, your x and y values, they become y and x values, right? So which means if we have C like this, the image of C would be something along those lines. But now, at this point, we don't have the x coordinate for C. So let's go and find the x coordinate for C so that we have full coordinates for C. So we only have the y coordinate. So we're given, or we found fully that f of x is equal to 2 over 3, all raised x, and then minus 1. Then, this is the y value, which is what? Which is 19 over 8 is equal to 2 over 3 raised x. X is what we're trying to find. Put your x there and minus 1. Then try to solve this thing. Try to solve your x. Take the 1 to the other side. What you will have? You will have 19 over 8 plus 1 is equal to 2 over 3 raised x. Right? No problem. Let's add these two. So, if you say 19 over 8 and you add 1, you get that this is equal to 27. Right? Over 8 is equal to 2 over 3 raised x. So let's find the factors of these. So this is 3 raised 3 over 2 raised 3 is equal to 2 over 3 all raised x. Take this up. So what you have, you'll have 3 raised 3 times 2 raised minus 3, because if the 2 goes up, its exponent changes signs, right? No problem. This is equal to what? This is equal to 2 times 3 raised minus 1. And all these are raised by x, of course. So if you look at this closely, you'll find that the 3 raised 3 times 2 raised negative 3 is equal to what? You apply the exponent laws. If these things are multiplying each other, each one of these two things will have its own exponent. So you'll have 2 raised x times 3 raised negative x. Are you with me? So this is equal to this, and this is equal to that, which means your 3 raised 3 is equal to 3 raised negative x, which means that your x is equal to minus 3, equal to positive 3. Or you could have said that x equal to minus 3. Right? Or you could have said that your 2 raised minus 3 is equal to 2 raised x. Therefore, your x is equal to minus 3 still. So the x coordinate for c is equal to what? The x coordinate for c is minus 3. So if you apply this transformation, which is what you have here, you have minus 3, and here at y you have what? 19 over 8. If you want the image of c, you said these things will swap around, so it will be 19 over 8 and minus 3. Those will be the new coordinates of c, which is the image of c on your whatever that is reflected. And I think that's how you do this question. And I hope it does make sense to you, as it does to me. Now we'll move to more functions, which is question 4. Thank you for watching. Cheers.